you would think, ABC, having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I mean, I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about
what happens when Karoline Leavitt rolls out of bed, flips on her no-nonsense mode, and marches straight into a courtroom like it's just another Tuesday on her calendar. It spells serious trouble for the daytime television crowd. That's right. Karoline is back before a judge with a lawsuit so enormous it could practically have its own zip code. Could this be the final shiny nail in The View's fashionable coffin? Is Joy Behar about to launch a side business, perhaps hawking passive-aggressive throw pillows on the internet just to cover the legal bills? Don't look away, because this television face-off is getting messier than a champagne brawl at a Real Housewives finale. Leavitt appears to be a razor-sharp operator, but she's also 27 and undeniably polished. So naturally, the warm and enlightened voices over at The View responded to her appointment exactly like this.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Karoline Leavitt just did the unimaginable again. She walked straight into the glittery chaos of daytime television, faced off against the loudest collection of professional interrupters currently on air, and effectively sued the entire segment right out of their own studio. Yes, again, because apparently one courtroom confrontation wasn't nearly enough to convince The View's producers to stop chasing controversy like it's written into their mission statement.
And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show.
If this breakdown caught your attention, go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe. Now, it turns out Karoline isn't simply reacting to left-leaning media moments. She's essentially made a habit of taking matters directly into legal territory. With the same fierce determination someone uses to yank their dog out of a muddy ditch, this latest courtroom move just might be the one that truly connects. The View isn't just rattled, it's swaying like a rickety folding table at a reality television reunion.
And the abuse continued.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
So what triggered this latest legal strike from Karoline? It appears she'd reached her limit after once again becoming the daily headline on The View's bottomless buffet of manufactured outrage. No air quotes necessary. We all know how the formula goes: 5 hosts, 2 coffee mugs, and an unlimited supply of polished condescension. But Karoline didn't simply scroll past it the way most people would. She walked into court. And this time, it's no gentle tap on the shoulder. It's a lawsuit so substantial it might need its own coordinates on a satellite map.
I mean, you'll deal with these kind of crazy questions from the White House podium. How do you plan to deal with it?
Yes, I absolutely will. I feel prepared to do that. I've been facing the media now, speaking on behalf of President Trump on the campaign trail for the past couple of years, and we are expecting the media to be hostile. However, Kaylee, if you do talk to a lot of these reporters off the record, they will tell you they look forward to more press transparency and access. And while we will expose the fake news when they are fake, we will hold them accountable for their lies and smears of President Trump. I can also assure the American people that they are going to be hearing directly from the leader of the
Segment 6. Now here's where things get genuinely compelling. This isn't simply about wounded feelings. It's about alleged defamation, serious reputational damage, and what Karoline's legal team describes as a full-scale smear operation dressed up as casual roundtable conversation. Think of it like striking a match inside a candle warehouse and then pointing fingers at the fragrance. According to those close to the matter, Leavitt's case rests on a straightforward premise: if a nationally broadcast program keeps treating someone like a political punching bag, don't act shocked when it punches back. While the hosts may frame it as lighthearted commentary, her attorneys see something far more calculated, a deliberate takedown tucked neatly between lifestyle segments and sponsor plugs. But here's the twist. She isn't just reacting. She's executing with a level of precision that implies every clip has been archived, every remark logged, and everything meticulously documented. And she isn't only going after the hosts individually. She's targeting the entire machine. If The View were a building, this lawsuit wouldn't stop at the front entrance, it would list every single room inside it. Financially, this is no trivial matter. Word is that ABC's accounting departments are already feeling the strain as legal expenses climb and insurance concerns rise right alongside them. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, the word settlement is reportedly being whispered with growing frequency.
Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here. You tried to say that the rest of the world would be moved closer to China when in fact we've seen the opposite effect. The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China, because they need our markets, they need our consumers, and they need this president in the Oval Office to talk to them. And that's exactly why more than 75 countries have called, because the United States of America is the best place in the world to do business. And as the president has shown great courage, as the secretary has said, in choosing to retaliate against China even.
Backstage, the atmosphere tells an entirely different story. Staff members are reportedly tiptoeing through the studio hallways as though they're dodging subpoenas rather than camera cables. Morale? Picture a glitter cannon detonating during a tax audit. Joy may still be delivering punchlines on air, but behind the scenes, budget reductions are landing harder than her best jokes. Promotional shoots are vanishing, guest appearances are quietly being pulled, and even the craft services table has gone from gourmet spreads to bring your own granola bar territory. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt is absolutely flourishing. She's transformed this legal roller coaster into a political stage production so precise and gripping it makes Shakespeare look like amateur improv at a dive bar. In conservative circles, she's become the defining figure who brought the cackling colossus to its knees armed with nothing but court documents and unshakable composure. No screaming, just devastatingly sharp legal arguments. But don't mistake any of this for a publicity stunt. This is a financial siege. Her team isn't simply chasing damages. They're constructing a case alleging a prolonged, deliberate campaign of on-air character assassination disguised as afternoon entertainment. If it holds up, the financial consequences wouldn't just sting, they could threaten the entire economic foundation of the show. And while the network keeps projecting confidence, insiders report it's mostly a facade. Legal teams are on maximum alert. The PR department is in full crisis mode. And advertisers are already eyeing the exits nervously, gripping their marketing budgets like life preservers.
First of all, the Democrat Party has gone woke and now they have gone broke. They have their lowest approval ratings ever, and they are rallying around two of the most far-left leaders in their party, AOC and Jasmine Crockett. So that tells you the current state of the Democrat Party.
Apparently, several brands were less than thrilled to discover they had been sponsoring what might soon become Exhibit A in a high-profile courtroom spectacle. And here's where the story gets really interesting. While The View scrambles to plug its leaks, Karoline's social media is detonating. Every newly released court document is pure content gold: more clicks, more engagement, more donations. She's evolved from news subject to full-blown headline engine, powered by legal drama and iced coffee. Conservative commentators are already declaring her the future of media combat, not by screaming into microphones, but by dragging those microphones into court. While others rage on podcasts, Karoline drops court filings like precision-guided strikes. It's courtroom conservatism, fewer hot takes, more cease and desist letters. And the ratings? Well, not exactly setting records. With the lawsuit looming and backstage tension hovering one shade away from panic, viewers are reportedly disengaging. The show now feels less like a cultural institution and more like a walking PR liability. Sponsorships that once arrived effortlessly are evaporating quickly. No brand wants its logo associated with a potential defamation judgment. One insider even joked the next sponsor might just be a law firm. Meanwhile, Karoline isn't easing up. Word is her team is methodically reviewing old footage, potentially laying the groundwork for a string of additional lawsuits. If The View assumed this was a one-and-done situation, they might want to start rescreening their own archives, preferably with an attorney present.
You do know that you're walking into hostile territory, right?
Certainly do. And look, I think I'm well prepared for that. And I'm incredibly honored that President Trump has instilled confidence in me to speak on his behalf behind the White House podium. It's been an honor to have a front row seat to the greatest political comeback in history. And as you mentioned in your monologue, Sean, President Trump is putting together a brilliant cabinet of fantastic America First fighters, from Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who are going to cut the waste out of our federal bureaucracy, to Susie Wiles, who is going to serve as the first female chief of staff in history. Take that. Mark Cuban, to Tom Homan. No one better to secure the border.
The objective, a complete reckoning with what Karoline Leavitt calls the mean girls in makeup empire of daytime television. And if she prevails, the word cancelled might take on an entirely new meaning. Even a fraction of what her team is seeking could leave The View staring down fewer hosts, fewer sponsors, and considerably less freedom to toss around insults without someone immediately dialing their legal counsel. Here's the twist: Leavitt has perfected the art of the double identity. To the show's loyalists, she's a political bogeyman. To her own supporters, she's a folk hero armed with legal briefs and fearless resolve. It's not just controversy, it's a brand. She isn't dodging the drama. She's packaging it, promoting it, and profiting from every frame of it. And if anyone assumes this is about ego, think again. Karoline's approach is pure calculated strategy. Every lawsuit is a campaign maneuver. Every courtroom victory is a polling boost. She isn't just constructing a persona, she's assembling a political resume that reads less like pundit and more like precision force in heels. While The View clings to PR spin and praise for calm, Karoline is already scanning the horizon for the next storm. This isn't about one poorly received segment. It's about dismantling what she views as a decades-old institution that has weaponized gossip beneath the flattering glow of studio lighting.
I think it's insulting that you're trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. You're asking me for what the president's justification is for these tariffs. It's not up to you. You're not the president, Gabe.
To hire a spokesperson just so that Elon Musk doesn't put out tweets that then confuse federal workers.
Are my press briefings not good enough for you?
Karoline Leavitt didn't merely file a lawsuit. She constructed an entire political brand. Courtrooms have become her stage. Depositions her content drops, complete with overhead lighting and legal theater. Every court date feels like a brand new episode in the Karoline cinematic universe, packed with headline-ready outrage, commentary that borders on conspiratorial, and a social media presence fueled by coffee, conviction, and constitutional fireworks. And it's working. Her following is growing faster than urban rent prices. Engagement has gone through the roof, and her donation link is generating more traffic than The View's applause track. Forget conventional advertising, Karoline is a viral phenomenon, playing both crusader and casualty simultaneously, litigating her way into the hearts of every conservative viewer with Wi-Fi and a point of view. Conservative media is absolutely feasting. She's already achieved icon status, a fearless voice taking on the liberal media apparatus armed with court filings and a ring light. And the most unsettling part for her critics? She hasn't raised her voice a single time. The lawsuits are doing all the talking.
If you heard that type of violent, enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even know what they're talking about. Because President Trump was elected with a mandate from the American people to make this government more efficient. He campaigned across this country with Elon Musk, vowing that Elon was going to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, and the two of them, with a great team around them, were going to look at the
This is the moment where the tables turn and not the entertaining reality show Variety. Typically, it's The View converting someone into a viral roast, torching reputations like marshmallows held over an open flame. But now they're the ones trending, not for wit or memorable sound bites, but for mounting liability and a legal firestorm they absolutely cannot charm their way out of. Karoline Leavitt didn't just change the game. She rewrote the entire rulebook. She isn't angry at the media. She's monetizing it. Packaging the outrage, tagging it, and shipping it out like primetime inventory. What once was a reaction has evolved into a complete business model. And the media itself has become the product. Back at The View, the glitter is fading fast. Ratings are sliding. The applause sounds anxious. Sponsors are sweating as though they're strapped to a polygraph. And the financial outlook is decidedly gloomy. Even the most devoted fans are noticing the change. The banter feels brittle. The laughter thinner. The enthusiasm forced. Rumors of host reshuffles and production interruptions are growing louder, and ABC executives are quietly running numbers on how much longer they can keep propping up this operation before someone calls for a rebrand. Meanwhile, Karoline shows no signs of decelerating. Her legal team reportedly has enough binders to open a secondary office, combing through every frame of footage for fresh ammunition. If The View so much as glances sideways at the wrong headline, she's reportedly ready to strike before anyone can finish saying reckless defamation. Insiders suggest this is merely phase 1. Her methodical campaign is setting its sights on the entire liberal media landscape. Court filings have become currency for visibility, influence, and cultural leverage. If The View got burned first, it almost certainly won't be the last. The slow-motion collapse isn't arriving through viewer complaints or gradual rating erosion. It's arriving courtesy of one sharp, resolute woman who decided that if she couldn't outshout the media machine, she would sue it into silence. To some, it's excessive. To her supporters, it's revolutionary. Karoline's crusade is no publicity play. It's a blueprint for an entirely new form of warfare, swapping debates for depositions and clapbacks for court appearances. And The View is absorbing that lesson the hard way. With the show teetering toward syndication purgatory or permanent daytime obscurity, the loudest talk show on television is being quieted, not by outrage, not by indifference, but by subpoenas and one determined woman who decided the punchline ends right here. Call it karma. Call it a reckoning. Call it Karoline with a capital L for lawsuit. And the only remaining question for The View may simply be, does anyone know a decent bankruptcy attorney? Preferably one with a sense of humor, because Karoline just flipped the entire table, and this time, the joke is completely on them.